wrapped up in my sleeping bag, looking out the window at Aaron's house as the sun is beginning to creep over the horizon. And the trees are silhouetted black against the emerging blue sky with the fading stars up in the sky. And I think to myself how much I hate Aaron because he's got it fucking made with this fantastic house of his, this nice little piece of property tucked away out in the backwoods of South Dakota. God, I fucking hate him. I hope he dies. I hope he dies of syphilis. You piece of shit.
I'm going over God, it's got to be 20 lessons here, 20 items of the Helping Women Out Hour. Where we here help you women out by not lying to you like everybody else has been lying to you in your life. Consider me your older brother who is going to give you the swift kick in your ass because you need it because everybody else. Can't imagine why women are so miserable. You actually do. You all need an older brother. I used to have an older brother podcast, but then YouTube made that difficult to stick around. It's a different thing. So today, what we're going to talk about is it's simple, it's short, and then I'm going to go and work on a car. And that is that you girls should not mutilate your bodies. And I probably should have done another more fundamental lesson or video here for the Helping Women Out Hour. And that is to have you ask yourself the question, do you want a quality man in your life? That is not a rhetorical question. That is not a question that answers itself. Like, oh yeah, of course I want a quality man in my life. No, it's an honest question. Because not every woman wants a guy in their life. There's nothing wrong with being asexual. There's nothing wrong where you prioritize your own individual life over that of another person, man, woman, friend, romantic partner, spouse, or not. But in order to be successful, be happy, or at least not be miserable, you need to be honest with yourself. Do you want a man in your life? Yes or no? If you don't, or more accurately, you're not willing to put in the effort to get a man in your life, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Some people don't like chocolate ice cream. You don't like chocolate ice cream. You're one of these weirdos who don't like chocolate ice cream, right? And someone comes up to you, do you want to drive 300 miles and pay $50 to get a chocolate ice cream? You're like, hell no, I don't want to, but it's chocolate ice cream. Yeah, and everyone's going to be looking at you like, you're the weirdo. You don't like chocolate ice cream. But at the end of the day, you don't like chocolate ice cream. And to be perfectly honest, there's a lot of women who, frankly, they don't hate men. You're just not that excited about men. You're not going to waste your life or invest too much in it because you're just not that. That's fine. I'll give you another example. Closely related. A lot of women don't like sex. A lot of people, oh my God, you don't like sex. What's wrong with her? Nothing's wrong with you. She just don't like sex. Yes, it's statistically odd. Same thing with the weirdos who don't like chocolate ice cream. But what she doesn't like it. It's not a choice. And so here is where we have, this requires intellectual courage. Deep down inside, yes or no, ladies, do you want not only a man, but a quality man? And you have to be honest. You cannot let feminists, spinsters, your frenemies, the outside world, the outside environment pressure you into saying what you want and having that not be what you want deep down inside. That's where a lot of people get into trouble. Like, you don't want a man, like pick me. I don't know how many of you heard the phrase. You're a pick me. Why? Because she wanted a guy? What's wrong with that? So remove all the social expectations, remove the pressures of different people that want you to like chocolate ice cream, remove the people who want you to like sex, or remove the people who say, you don't need no man. Simple question. What do you want? And in this particular case, do you want a man in your life? And the only incorrect answer is when you lie to yourself. The correct answer is what you truly want. Yes, I do want a man. Or no, really, I'm not that excited about him. Those are the two correct answers as long as they are truthful. Now, if you are meh about men. Like, no, it's really not. I just don't like, I don't get the excitement. Sure, maybe the right guy comes along, but it's not critical, right? A lot of people, I'm weird. I don't want kids. Never wanted kids. It's not that deep down inside I wanted kids, but could never have. No, I legit don't want kids. I'm the statistical minority. Imagine if deep down inside I didn't want kids, but I had them anyway because of pressure. Oh my God. First class ticket, one-way flight to Miserable-ville. Oh, no way. So, ladies, if you don't want a man, or it certainly isn't that high of a priority in life, this video doesn't apply to you. If you girls do want a man, this video applies to you. Because if you want a man, men are not going to be attracted to you, no matter how much this might hurt your feelings. We don't do feelings here. Feelings, you can talk to anyone else in the world. Talk to Oprah, talk to your teachers, talk to Democrats, talk to media. Talk to these. Go consult the miserable women that hate their lives. Okay? We're doing practicality. Men are not attracted to women who mutilate their bodies. Now, kind of like weirdos who don't like chocolate ice cream. Some weirdos also like me don't want kids. Some people don't like sex. There are some men, it is an incredibly small percentage of the male population that do like women who mutilate their bodies. I've seen it happen. It's rare, but generally speaking, men do not like it when you mar, mutilate, lessen, destroy, graffiti-ize your body. And what are the three main ways women do this? Well, it depends. First, there is hair. We're going to go from least damaging to most damaging. Okay. I know all the popular kids are doing it, but if you dye your hair a ridiculous color, you are at minimum going to scare away men. And certainly the quality ones. I will give you inside baseball. Most men do not have time to deal with some crazy gal who's dyeing her hair pink or blue or purple or orange or red, in part because that means leftist politics, which means you're going to raise our taxes and you're going to be a pain in the ass to deal with personally. Also because it's a sign that it's like, oh, a little less stable. They're looking for a cheap out to have purpose, meaning, and value. I'm going to dive into that a little bit more detail so you realize when you're doing it, like, oh yeah, deep down inside, that's what it is. But it's there, it's bright, we can see it, it's a warning sign. You can, ladies, you can immediately go, if you want to tune into the Helping Women Out Hour, it really helps if you just check your feelings and emotions at the door and not take anything personally. Say, these are the rules and the guidelines of the real world or what men like or how the labor force works. You really need to check your emotions at the door. And you could, if you don't care what men think, right, okay, then go, by all means, dye your hair orange, knock yourselves out. It's your hair, your life, you do what you want to do. But if you want a man in your life, that means there's another person. I'm telling you, not even generally, like 98% of the men are going to look at your hair dye and be like, no. I don't even want, they're not even going to ask why. They don't care why. They'll be like, nope. I'm also going to be embarrassed. I'm not taking my pink-haired girlfriend to my parents. It's not happening. Right? But hair isn't that big of a deal. Why? Because you can dye it a regular color. You can let it grow back out. It's not a permanent damage. It's not a permanent choice. Let's go to the next thing. Piercings. It is okay to have your ears pierced. It's maybe sexy to have your belly button pierced. Beyond that, no. No nose piercings, no lip piercings, no bull ring. Again, if it's more important to you that's how I individuate myself, that's really, I don't care what men, that's fine. You're in the previous camp I said before, you're not interested in men. That's okay. Just be honest with yourself. Go do whatever you would like to. It's your body. Do it. That's fine. Enjoy it. Maybe it means a lot to you. Good. Accept and acknowledge you put a bullnose ring in, or you pierce your lip or your tongue, or your eyebrow, or any other of these stupid, frankly, conformist, look how edgy I am, being edgy like everybody else when everyone's a super, no one will be, type of piercings or things or mutilation choices. You are not going to get a quality guy. You mean I have to choose between my individuality and a man? Yeah. You have to choose your individuality between you and your employer. Individually, I would, right? Do you want to work? No, but you got it, because if you want the participation of anyone else, you must factor in what they want. And so you got to roll over and lie down, but you must okay, they want this. So when you put in these ridiculous piercings, and by the way, ladies, for especially the younger ones, it's an unnerving warning sign to begin with to most men. However, this has been going on now for at least 20 years. And now there's precedent, there's history, there's data. We look at the girls with the bullnose rings. You know who they are? They're losers, generally. Cappy, I know a surgeon who has a bullnose. Okay, fine. You know the one lady with a bullnose ring who's a surgeon. Good for you. For everyone else, they're pretty much losers. They're poor, and not because they were born into poverty, but they made stupid financial decisions. They choose bad degrees. They're out of shape. These are not hardworking people. Doesn't mean they're evil. They just ain't got no hustle and go. They're not going anywhere. Oh, you pierced your lips here? No one who's got pierced lips down here like this, like the little studs coming out. No, because everyone in the past, you might be the greatest, most intelligent girl ever. You always want to get your pierced lip down below here with two freaking horns coming out. You could have the cure for cancer. Unfortunately, a generation and a half, maybe two generations of women who did that ruined it for you. Right? Let's say I like that funny looking cross sign with the ones coming off of it. Some Germans in the 19th. Let's say I just like that pattern, right? Well, you know what? Too bad. There were some really bad Germans back in the 30s and 40s who ruined that sign, who ruined that geometric design. So we don't use it anymore. Even if you had the most noble of intentions, we're like, no, it actually goes really well with this artwork I got. Yeah, we're just not using it. But kind of like hair, piercings can be undone. Except for those loopy ears. Oh my God. And you boys are equally guilty of that. You get your fucking plates in your ears. Fuck off. Grow the fuck up. Jesus Christ. Even that with surgery, you could reattach and redo. Okay. All right. Fine. So we haven't completely fucked our lives over yet. And then finally, tattoos. Look, there is no bigger flag or symbol today for being a conformist than having tattoos. All right. I don't know how it came about to be. I don't think big corporations pushed the tattoos. I was playing Far Cry 3, was it? It is like an early 2000s video game, I believe. And like you got special powers and powered up and get extra tattoos. I'm like, oh, is that what the cool hip kids are doing? And if you haven't heard the phrase or the saying before, you're going to hear it now. Putting a tattoo on your body is like putting a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. You don't do it. Now here there's a ton of social pressure. It's a way for you to express yourself. It's a way to remember things. No. Take your emotions. Get the fuck out of here. We do not have a place for emotions at the Helping Women Out Hour. We're trying to help you. We have to deal with reality, not emotions. When you go and I did it for this, I bought it, that, you are a conformist. It's a big sign, especially to the smart guys. Yeah, she's in this tightly, conforming Bell distribution curve of intelligence. You're not really independent. You're dumb enough to be hoodwinked into thinking, I'm going to be independent by doing what everybody else is doing. It's conformist. It's sheep. It's herd-like mentality. And it looks like fucking shit. Now, yes, there are men who like tattoo. Yes, some men find it attractive. Generally, though, no. No, it's not. And what all of these are, let's be very clear what these mostly are. This is not like your father died and you got a tattoo to remember, like a discrete tattoo that you remembered him by, or you served in the military and you got your unit number tattooed to your arm. That much I can understand. Outside, like the Yakuza, the mafia, the military, or somebody truly tragic, losing and passing, all of it is conformist fashion. It's just current popular thing. In my day, the current popular thing was to roll your jeans. And in my day, the girls would poof their bangs. You know what? It didn't kill it. It wasn't permanent. We just stopped rolling our jeans or poofing our bangs. You are making quasi-permanent mutilations to your body. You're not like cutting your hand. I'm not talking that type of mutilation, but you are marring, you are lessening your body. Well, you're not entitled to my body. Then you are in the first camp of girls who don't really want to have guys. There you go. You go be alone. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with being alone. You can like onion ice cream more than chocolate ice cream. That's fine. You can have a foot fetish. You can be a furry, whatever. Go and do it. But it will negate you from most men. So, no matter what you have to do, and inevitably the fad went away. Like, I don't think girls poofed their bangs for more than 5 years. I don't think we rolled our jeans for more than 8. The fad went away, but man, this dyed hair and the tattoos and the piercing, like this is just sticking around now for a quarter century. And I don't care what the social pressures are. At the end of the day, you get a tattoo, you get a piercing, you get your hair dyed. Oh, yeah, you look like everyone else, and you're a conformist. And you don't want to be dumb, but you don't control whether you're dumb. You do control whether you're a unique individual and a human being, which people need in order to fall in love with. But if you're just like every other sheep out there and you're getting your tattoos, oh, hey, I say thing and popular thing and current thing, I so hate the Trump man. It's not even necessarily about politics, but it's like you're not an individual, and it's harder to fall in love with a sheep than it is an individual. It's harder to fall in love with an NPC who's been programmed to do current popular thing, right? You get these, admittedly they're good looking, but you go get these washed up jocks who are sales bros and they're hot. Okay, I understand why you want to sleep with them, but then you're like, well, there's no depth to them. No fucking shit. They're conformists. I'm not saying don't go after good looking guys, but like the stereotype, like he leases a Beamer. Oh my, okay. So let's be fair. So you girls are conformists when you get your dyed hair, you get your tattoos, and you get your piercings, and you carry along with it the required and prerequisite and prescribed non-thinking politics that comes with it. Democrat, like not even criticize that, like it's been given to you. Men, your opposite number on opposite side of the same coin are the guys who go lease their 3 Series or the 3S Series BMW that they can't afford, and they try and impress you girls with a car. They have no depth. They have no personality. They're just obeying. They are programmed to go get the car. And hey, babe, I got a car. Right? You seeing any of that? Of course, nowadays, very, very hard to afford a car for young people. No depth. He's not philosophical. He's not religious. He hasn't busted his ass off. He took a loan out to finance it, right? He didn't work nights and overshifts. Oh my God, the purpose and meaning of life and labor, and I should respect other people's time and takes the value of $1. And let me, right? Hardship creates interesting people that you could fall in love with. Frat boy from the suburbs, mom and dad paid his way through college. You got a cool car, bro. Yeah, and that's it. How do you fall in love with? Might be fun to have sex with, but you can't fall in love with that. You're kind of doing the same thing when you just become indistinguishable from everybody else who's got tattoos, ridiculous hair colors, and piercings. So now, again, assuming you want a guy in your life, that means you should avoid these things. And then it's up to you, like, how much do you want men? How important is it for you to do what current people and popular things say? In some ways, all about how important is it for me to be independent? No, I really want a tattoo. I'm like, okay, well, you want you. No, I really want to dye my hair pink. All right, well, just so you know, here's a phrase you might want to get familiar with. There are no solutions. There are only trade-offs. There is very unlikely, of course, millions of people. There's always a chance. Although I don't want to give you girls hope, because you'll hang on to that one hope like losers like do trying to win the lottery. There's always a chance, you dye your hair pink and, oh yeah, a guy likes it. And, right? But for the most part, if you're choosing that, you're giving up your chances with guys. Fine, when you're young, you want pink hair and you're 19 and not get married anyway. Okay, go ahead. All right, maybe you want a little discreet tattoo. All right. Okay, maybe you want that little nose piercing that'll fill. All right, okay, fine. But when the time comes, oh, I really want a man. All right. Stop mutilating your body. And then finally, look, people don't do these things, men and women. You don't get tattoos, mutilate, but whatever. For shits and giggles, there's a reason. A lot of it is social pressure and fashion. I get that. But here's the other thing. And I'm going to assume you want a smarter than average guy. Every guy out there who's smarter than average, better than average, not more. I'm just saying, like, a higher quality guy generally will correlate with intelligence, but more so street smarts and observations. Most guys that you're going to want know deep down inside more so than you why you're doing all these ridiculous things like hair color, tattoos, and piercings and other forms of mutilating your body. It is a cheap and easy way, in your mind anyway, to give you some kind of purpose, meaning, and differentiation. It's a way for you to, if you really wish to differentiate yourself in a good way from other people, like you're competing against other women, by the way, in case you were wondering. If you wanted to differentiate yourself from other women in a good way, you know what that takes? Work, right? A positive, good differentiation takes work, because most people don't want to do the work. Therefore, they don't differentiate themselves. It's just like everybody else. I'll give you perfect examples, right? A girl who worked extra shifts to pay off her student loan debt. You're 27 and you paid off your student loan debt. You managed your finances correctly. You didn't go to some overpriced liberal arts college, but you went to tech school or trade school or whatever school early on, community college, and you got reasonably priced tuition, and then you worked extra shift to pay that off. That right there is going to make a guy more long-term interested in you than a ridiculous hair color. You go to the gym, right? This is everybody. Everybody's fat. Everyone's a fat fuck in this country. You know what? Fat's not fuckable. Repeat after me. Fat is unfuckable. 1, 2, 3. Fat is unfuckable. If you differentiate yourself in America, especially by not eating, going a little hungry, and working out, that takes work. That takes effort. But you accomplish something, a positive differentiation. Everybody else is fat. You're the one who's thin and in shape. And then, we could pick a million. I'll give you another one related to education. Oh, God, what was it? 85% of women major in dumb shit. Go look up National Center for Education. Say, yeah, we don't do feelings here. We are brass tacks reality. Most of you go major in the liberal arts or the social sciences or anything that avoids math. You major in accounting, though, or you major in engineering. That's hard. That takes work. And plus, you're going to make more money and probably be able to pay off your student loans a lot quicker. You have differentiated yourself from the herd positively. Everything else is a cope, a magic trick. And it's not magic. The only person it fools is you. We say, you know what I'm going to do? I need to differentiate myself from everybody else. So I'm going to do some easy things that doesn't require work, but then I could say is unique and special. And then therefore it's your hair color. Look how edgy I'm being, going against 1950s standards, doing the thing that literally everyone else is doing. I think I looked it up, like 2/3 of girls have tattoos under 40. You're not special. I'm going to get a tattoo just like everyone else. No, mine's a Chinese proverb just like everyone else. No, mine says something special. Oh, okay. Is it about love and peace? Yeah. How'd you know? And the piercing stain. Why? None of this takes effort. Yeah, you got to sit there a bit. I think the tattoo takes the most effort, depending on, you got to sit there for a while. And it costs money. But you're not like doing calculus. You're not going to the gym. That's where you're doing it. You're trying to find the easiest way to differentiate yourself and be unique by doing the least amount, but having it also require the least amount of work possible. And when everyone does it, everyone does the same differentiate. There's not a lot of things you can do to differentiate. I'll give you another one. How many straight people under 40 fake being not straight? I don't care what sexuality is, gay, bi, trans, whatever. It doesn't matter. That whole fucking 48 flavors of gender that came out under the young millennials. Oh, today I'm a pansexual. Dude, just tell me you're lazy and don't want to work. I think, oh, I'm totally bi. I totally am. No, you're not. You're a bored little teenage girl who doesn't want to work and wants to be edgy and cute and unique. Don't worry, my generation did it too. We bought fucking shirts that were $80 that had a logo on it. Oh my God, I got a Cavaricci shirt. I'm so amazing. No, you're actually pretty fucking stupid. Or at least your parents are for buying you an $80 shirt in 1989 money. I will say this. Because so many youngish women are mutilating their bodies and doing the thing that requires no labor to differentiate themselves from everybody else, but in the fact that it's avoiding work, it doesn't differentiate. It just makes you more a conformist Borg-like mass. Because so many people are doing it, it's actually lowered the bar for you to differentiate yourself, right? The memes are going around like, you know what, who a true rebel is today? The girl who isn't overweight and doesn't have tattoos and wears long hair and looks feminine. Like, you don't have to look like some bombshell Playboy Playmate 80s model to differentiate yourself from. All you got to do is be reasonably thin and attractive, long hair, and put on a dress, which would be socially awkward by today's standards, I understand. But when all the women are dressing like dudes because you're wearing pants and jeans and baggy shit, and you come out, you're just wearing like a nice dress, you are going to stand out. And to be perfectly honest, that doesn't take a lot of effort, right? I mean, staying in shape does. That's true. But to wear a dress and grow your hair out and not dye it almost takes less effort. In simply not doing these things, you're going to stand out for it. And then guys are going to notice. Now, if you want them all fired up, yeah, get in shape, be pretty, put on the makeup, but different discussion. But if you're interested in meeting men, if you think men are going to be an important part of your life, you need to not mutilate your body. Because it tells them there's something irresponsible, it's conformist, that's not a uniquely independent-minded or interesting person, and they're lazy. The smart guy's going to know that, like, that's a lazy person. They're getting their tattoo or they're subscribing to stupid politics or some, whatever, environmentalism or help the whales or some bullshit. They're going to say, yeah, that person, boy, they sure get a lot of ink done, but they're not studying up for the CPA, right? Boy, that girl's got some wicked hair color, but she ain't learning how to, I don't know, change the timing belt on a car. And we could talk about, like, okay, what makes a woman beautiful? That's a different discussion. But all I'm saying right now is if you want a man, if you want to fall in love, you want to have husband and kid, deep down inside, not what other people tell you, you're going to have to give up on the pink haircut unless like very young and you just want to do it. Well, okay, fine. Like by 23, 24, 25, you want to start getting married, having kids. Yeah, there's no ridiculous hair colors, no tattoos, and no dumbass piercing. The tattoos, you got to have those removed. That's the most permanent one. That being said, though, in fair, full honesty, if you're not interested in men, knock yourself out. Have fun. I'm sure there is an artistic angle to these things. What was the other one? if it's really important to you, it's weird. I don't know why, but people are like, oh, ink is really important to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are sports really important? I mean, it'd be on par with that. I can't date a girl who's not a Minnesota Vikings fan. I'm like, yeah, actually you can. But he could find that girl who's a Minnesota Vikings fan. Hey, let's go watch him not win another Super Bowl. I mean, there is a chance there are some guys out there, who are like, oh my God, you got ink, I got ink. Let's talk about ink and hepatitis together. Yeah, it's possible, but it's very statistically unlikely. But it all starts, what do you want? Do you want a man in your life? And if you do, sorry, body mutilation as a weak and lazy man's way to differentiate yourself and bring value to your life is not going to work. That's off the table. If you need more resources, I have a course out there called The Dad You Never Had, which is kind of generally what this is also about. But this is tailored to women, but I have general advice, a lot of finance, career, and all that. Because most of you didn't have dads. I mean, you all have dads, but obviously no one ever raised their kids no more. Well, I don't know. Your teachers should figure, here's your tablet, son. I don't know why they think they're all bi and trans. Their teacher said it's the current popular thing. Guy, at least back when we were going to school, it was like Ferris Bueller, the teachers are the assholes. Now you got the teachers telling you what's cool. How fucking lame. You can get your cultural guidance from teachers. Like, oh my God. Anyway, The Dad You Never Had. It's linked down below. You can find it on Teachable. And then also the Book of Numbers. If you ladies want to do further research, don't worry. Down the road, I'll tell you what men want. Sucks. There. Okay, that was that video done. Go get the Book of Numbers, Analyzing ROI in the Pursuit of Women, which ostensibly written for men. There's a lot of data and numbers and statistics where you read through like, oh my God, this is my competition. And here's the things I should and shouldn't do. If you want, guys. If you don't, you shouldn't even be listening to this because you should have checked out 10, 15 minutes ago. Let's go to the super chats if there are any. Vlad Elkins, CP. Oh no, Arcades. Oh, Arcades going to give me something. I know it's going to be something. Nothing good ever happens when Arcades. He's like Jaws. Na 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 na. Super complicated request. Chad, $2. I used to have tattoo fetish several years ago. Really? You? Really? No way. How? And did dating cuddle hookums finally beat that out of you? How many warning signs do you need? How much apostomatisms? How much apostomatics? How many instances of apostomatism do you need to be warned? TV Row, $2. Enjoy the decline, sir. I shall. Okay, now I'm worried. Arcady, 50 generous dollars. Let me explain to you. Oh my God, $50. Yeah, but you don't know this guy. Thanks for talking about this important topic. It's so disheartening to see formerly beautiful women on the beach all over the world covered in tattoos and turning the beautiful parts of their bodies to ugly ones. This is truly a global pandemic. Right. And a lot of girls are going to say, fuck you, you don't own my body. And they're 100% right. But ladies, whether you like it or not, the main reason men are attracted to you is because of your feminine body. I don't know if you notice how that works in all the animal kingdom. We're animals here. And it's fine. You don't have to be a sexual object. You don't. You're right. You do not have to. It's your body. Mutilate it as much as you want. Understand in doing so, you will not get. And guys, you're not entitled to women being attractive or untattooed. It's all choice, right? I'm at the end of the day, I'm for the individual making the choices they want to. I'm just telling the ladies right now, look at the women a generation or two older than you and how miserable they are and how pissed off they are. They can't find a guy. Well, did you tattoo? Did you have other men's kids? Did you do other things that men don't like? Well, men should like me where I can do whatever I want, regardless of whether men like. Men shouldn't like what they like. Well, okay. Good luck. Yeah, at the end of the day, and that's why I led off with do you really want a man? Because if you do, I'm sorry, that's another person, right? I can't, Arcadia, I just can't come up to you and say, hey, let's go play golf. What if you don't like golf, right? What am I going to do? Force you to play golf? You don't want to play golf. I got to find out something you like to do. Like, okay, let's go play tennis. Oh, okay, Arcadia, he loves playing tennis. Yeah, let's go play tennis. All right. It's the same thing. Unfortunately, at this past 50 years, women have been maybe not explicitly told, but unintentionally, unconsciously, although it's led to believe that they're the only people on this planet. And when it comes to the sexes, which means generally two groups of people, men and women, positive, negative, yin, yang, black, white, right? Got to think what the other person wants. And they're like, how dare men want what they want? Well, okay, you can be like all the feminists, pissed off, angry, middle-aged and millennial and even baby boomer spinsters. Ah, men want women with big boobs. They're shallow. Or you could just give them the big boobs. I don't know how many generations of women who've tried to fight against male nature and shame them and browbeat them and beat them over the head. And you should like fat women and you're horrible human beings. And how dare you want to have sex with you? How well has that worked for them? Right? The young gals got to wake up and realize the old people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And if you look at the older ladies who like, how dare men like how dare men be men? How dare you like beautiful women? Women don't owe you pretty. There's a whole book written by that title. It's like, right. Women don't owe us pretty, and we don't owe you jack shit in return. So or just me. It's just me. In my upcoming essay, I don't want a threesome with Jesus. I said, what would happen to the marital problems of the United States if both the men and the women lost 30 pounds and started fucking again? Just me. Just me. What if you guys lost your gut, you guys lost your fupa, and you put yourself in some fucking heels, you got back to fucking again? I wonder what would happen. But that would require hard work, genuine differentiation. He should like me for me. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Yeah, but it is sad. It's because there's no better canvas, no better architecture, no better art, no better platform by which to paint beauty, at least for men anyway, than the female body, right? I'm not all that. Oh, it's art. I mean, but yeah, I'm inspired by architecture. I'm inspired by pretty paintings. I'm inspired by great landscapes. You put a hot girl in like just heels and some thigh highs. That's it. That's all you need. Just a little accent. Whoo! How you doing? But if it's attached to a 280-pound woman, like, no, with tattoos and fucking mutilated face and with the mouth, like, I don't do it for you. We're not your objects. Like, God, Jesus Christ. Anyone ever date a mute? Like, I've got to imagine they have higher. I wonder where the man is deaf or the wife can't speak. I wonder, do those marriages last longer? I'm serious. Serious. So, anyway, and Lord knows, I'm trying to save these girls some money too. But yeah, it's sad. It is tragic what happened. I remember the 80s. Girls were pretty back then. Reen, $5. How many times do we have to say this, old man? You're wasting. Good old Reen. You're wasting your time. It is funny to watch. We will watch the same patterns again. I know. I told you the reason. Look, we already had one lady email in, so we are reaching. I am reaching out to some gals. I'm doing this for posterity. You say, nope, I tried. Here's my help. No, I don't hate women. I'm actually trying to give them practical advice that is not the bullshit, doesn't work, never would work, and ain't going to work ever advice that Oprah came out with. Like, here you go. Here's how you get wealthy. Here's how you save your money. Here's what a retirement plan is. Here's how maybe, you get a guy if deep down inside you wanted to have a guy. I'll tell you this right now. The guy you girls want, you think a wealthy, stable, hardworking guy who knows and is independent-minded, not a pushover beta type, like a real man, the man you want to take, you think he's going to walk in to whatever the formal gala that his company is throwing or take you to dinner if you got ink all over your fucking body and a nose ring. You think he's going to take you to that nice restaurant with you looking like the fool? It's an embarrassment. I mean, would you want your man, dressed with his pants down below, or I don't know, whatever ridiculous fashion men do that you girls don't like? TV Row, $2, bro. I had the Z Cavarici, regular Cavariccis for poors. Oh, wait. Z Cav, was that the higher end? I just thought it was Cavarici all over. I didn't know Z was the higher end. One time I got a Cavarici shirt, and it's sad. People started treating me better. It was so fucking sad. Fucking sophomore in high school, got Cavarici shirt. People are like, fuck you people. Fucking assholes. Ass bucket, $5. When everyone does something, it isn't stunning. Right. It's not unique. It can't be. It statistically can't be. It isn't brave and it isn't courageous. Right. And I'll say this again. No man can fall in love with an NPC. No one can fall in love with a sheep. It's a sheep. It's not, there's no personality. There's no uniqueness. There's no human there to fall in love with. Oh, great. You're another, whatever, sociology majoring, Democrat, light feminist who dyed her hair and does the exact same thing as every other girl. You're not human. You're not. No guy can fall in love with that. No guy's going to chase you to the end of the earth. I mean, if you're hot, they might have sex with you, but they're not going to marry you. Muff Edit, $2. You were wrong about the number of female teachers, Cappy. What do you mean I was wrong about? Oh, yeah. That had relationships with their students. Yeah, I was way underestimated that. Yeah. Oh, man. What are we at? Are we pushing 90? I thought it was going to be 69. No pun intended. I did math behind it. I was way under. Hey, Tamar Sneer. One of our Minnesota agents, I feel $5. I got my tattoos when it was considered an act of rebellion. Right. If you're old enough, sure. Now, not having tattoos is a sign of social defiance, right? It is. Which, to be fair for the guys out there, if a 25-year-old has tattoos, get the fuck out of here. If the 50-year-old has tattoos, all right. When did you get? And then when did you get it? Did you get it when you were 19? All right, fine. Oh, you got it last week? Oh my God. And it's too late for these women. But no doubt many of you have seen the pandemic of baby boomer women dyeing their hair ridiculous colors. Oh my God. I see it in Walmart, and I see it in South Dakota of all places. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Grandma, it's over. I mean, it's not over. You could always lose weight and then go find yourself a 78-year-old man. Oh, I see that. Grandma ladies, baby boomer women dyeing the hair blue or red or some ridiculous color. I'm like, okay. I don't have to get to, you're so judgmental. I don't have to waste my time talking to this person to get to know. Look, this is not someone who secretly is a chemical engineer working on a new alloy in her basement. This is some welfare collecting trailer trash that's going to Walmart, who's fat, wearing shit clothes. And I know I get Goodwill Club. At least they fit. I'm not saying you should buy brand name. whose peak in life is eating ice cream and Doritos and watching the television. And the peak of what she concluded, what the edgy statement she was going to make is, as a 68-year-old woman, she was going to dye her hair purple. No guy, if you're interested, guy, that's right. No guy is going to want anything to do with that. There you guys go. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.